Okay, welcome back. We're all ready to go, I think. There we go. We're in Campbelltown in Scotland. This is the narrowest bit between us and Northern Ireland. So we're going to Belfast today. The weather's stormy and grotty as usual, but in this neck of the woods that's quite normal, and if you wait for nice weather you'll be waiting forever, so you have to get things done. So we're going to go into VR. Welcome on board. We're going to go into our helicopter and close the door. There we go. Let's go into VR. There we go. Oh, it's sitting comfortably. Hope so. There we are. Let's get my volume settings right. Everything's sorted out. I'll get the map up. It's quite important to have the map. We're at Campbelltown. The tower's over there somewhere, and the actual town of Campbelltown is in the. We'll go over Campbelltown on the way, I think. Show you Campbelltown. Only so far we can go though, really. Out of our way, because Belfast. We are here. Belfast is there. We'll be going to Georgie Best Airport today. And this is the narrowest bit across. So Belfast is like just a little bit to the right of south. But we're going to go across the narrow bit and we're going to fly down the coast, because that makes the most sense really. So let's zoom that in. There we are, you can see our route across. So I will now put that down here, out of the way. Okay, we're all tickety boom, ready to go. Flight planning, my flight planning is dreadful really. It's, that's Belfast, Alderney. We're not going to that airport, but we can tune the nav beacon in there just in case. Right. Okay. So as we're coming down the coast, or it depends how much visibility we've got, we know that that beacon, the arrow there, will be pointing off to our right, and if it's not, something's gone wrong. Okay, so we need to put the engines are in flight, are in ground idle at the moment. So we need to put them into flight idle, and it builds up speed and momentum. Starting to rain, so I'm going to put the wipers on. That's giving me a warning. Okay, I'll turn that off. These are a bit fiddly, these things. It's all quite straightforward. Like I said, all these are just fuses, trips. Just make sure they're all in there. All trips. They're all trips over there, so you can ignore all of them once you've made sure they're all pushed in. And the switches are self-explanatory. You can see what they all are. There's nothing really complicated or technical about them. This here and this here, these are the radios. Well, I don't bother with the radios. That's a navigation device that'll show me whatever I punch in. Airfields mainly, that's the one I want. What's that saying to me? Number 1 inlet anti-ice. Anti-ice is on. Okay, we'll turn that off. Right, I think we're ready to go. So we'll take off, we'll go to Campbelltown, and we'll fly around the Mull of Kintyre, and then we'll go across to Northern Ireland, which is behind me and off to the right. Yes, yeah, I should have some music really. Okay, brakes off. Free movement, we've got plenty of fuel, everything's in the green. So I just put a bit of forward pressure on the rotor head there. Brakes are off. So that's to increase the power, and we should start rolling forwards. Not too much, because we don't want to nose over. But at the same time, we Apparently I'm told rolling takeoffs are better for the aircraft. Alright. There we go, we've lifted off. Appears to be still in the green. A bit of a crosswind there, taking me off the centre line. So we have to compensate for that bit of right foot and tip the aircraft to the right, and that will bring us back onto the centre line if we were that fussy. But I've got a tailwind actually looking at the wind side. So we're going to head off in the opposite direction to that which we need to go. To have a quick look at Campbelltown. It is worth a look while we're here. Okay, my power setting in there now. That funny looking UFO there, that is the VOR beacon. Something like VHF Omni Range Radio. Can't remember what it stands for. Something like that anyway. We're out of range of Alderneys. Older what's it? Belfast. Ooh, really getting thrown around here in the wind. This is Campbelltown. It's not a very big place, but this is where one would come for a night out if one's based at Machrihanish. Not much to see, is there? In the distance we've got the Isle of Arran, and beyond that we've got Glasgow Prestwick Airport, so we're going to follow the coastline around here. Airspeed's good, everything's in the green, T's and P's are in the green, nothing on the caution panel, everything seems okay. So I'm going around the Mullican tyre in case anything goes wrong, because that way I can just land here and everything's happy rather than be over the sea. Need to power back a bit because we're sort of over speeding. So I'll raise the nose now. It's some altitude up. Like I say, I'm not going to fly the most direct way to Belfast, which is down there. I'm going to go the narrowest point, which from here is about 240. So we go on to 240. Oh, I've got the beacon from Aldergrove, 40 miles, is that saying, or 49 miles? It's about 25 minutes to Aldergrove. We'll be flying a straight line. Which I'm not going to do. I'm going to go across the narrow bit because I'm chicken. Flying long flights over water in helicopters is dodgy, you know. It really is, especially in horrible weather. Gives you a good look at the Mullican Tyre. There's an island out there, look, just off the coast. This is all Scotland still. can see the turbulence today is quite choppy up here. I mean, you can fly long distance over water if you're brave, and everything will probably be okay, but if things go bad, it's really unhelpful being out over the water, especially as far as being rescued is concerned. It's much easier to plant it in a field here and have to walk back, isn't it? Back to the nearest road. Well, I imagine that this is my camper van. You see, I've got my helicopter kitted out as a camper van, you know, with a table and chairs and little galley and things, and for limited cooking, bedroom. Cool. That'd be a millionaire lifestyle, wouldn't it, having one of these and just... As we go today, darling, I know, I quite fancy going to the races. Okay. But where's my hat? Well, what's the time? Let's look at the time. The time is 20 minutes to 3 in the afternoon. It is Friday afternoon. What's the date today? Let me have a quick look. It's the 22nd of March 2024. This is real time and weather here in the Mull of Kintyre in Scotland. Can't quite see Northern Ireland yet, but it's dead ahead and off to my left. So I'm gonna take it to the tip. Not quite trimmed in properly. Let's pull that in a bit more. That's what happens when you let go of the controls and look at the map. The helicopter starts to crash. Right, so we're gonna fly across this bit, just here. It's the narrowest point across water. It's good airmanship to do that. You don't have to do that, but and this particular helicopter will float, okay, if it lands in the water. Don't know how long for, depends how choppy the sea is. That's one advantage to this helicopter, although the RAF search and rescue version is better because it's got floats on the wheels, added stability. This is the Commando Mark V version, which probably isn't as good, to be fair. Although it's pretty damn similar. Right, so we're on a good heading there, 240. Should take us straight across. We'll say goodbye to Scotland. Goodbye, Scotland, goodbye. And head off to Northern Ireland. Let's get our speed up now. We want to be at max speed, really, for crossing over. Last check of our... Everything's in the green. Check the caution panel, everything looks good. Picking up speed now, 120 knots, that's great. You can lower the collective a little bit now and trim for the cruise. There was a Chinook crashed here, coming across from Ireland in really horrible weather, just spanked into the hill here. Don't know exactly where, that is Chinook helicopter. So it's routine to cross here, the narrowest bit. You really don't want to lose visibility if you can help it. And when the cloud gets really bad and it gets lower and lower and lower as the weather deteriorates, of course it forces you down to a height where you're going to accidentally run into a cliff, which is not good. We're currently at 1,300 feet. on the barometric altimeter. I'm going to be talking about the moon landings on my channel today. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I mean there are a lot of very valid arguments that conspiracy theorists bring up to suggest that the moon landings didn't happen. I'm one of the people who believed it all at the time. I do remember the moon landings. I was about 8 years old in 1969 and the last one was in 72, so I'd be around 11, and everybody was talking about it, everybody was buzzing about it, and we all believed it. We had no cause not to believe it. It's only in recent years that people have, well, a long time ago I suppose, I think Capricorn 1, the film, came out, didn't it? And they were all going, oh, they didn't really land on the moon. And that's when they started with the theories, but I genuinely want them to have landed on the moon. Although I am sceptical on a lot of issues. But, having said that, the Americans have got some sort of drone, some sort of satellite going around the moon at the moment. Well, they did have. I don't know if it's still doing it, but that was photographic reconnaissance drone. And it's photographing every inch of the moon, going round and round and round the moon. The Indians have just landed, I say just, wasn't that long ago, some sort of robot on the moon. And that's the future, isn't it? That's the way it's heading. And the evidence is on the moon. Because the lower part of the lunar landing craft, the lunar module, that gets left behind along with the equipment, the lunar buggy and things like this, and they'll still be there in a million years time if nobody goes there. But these robots and these cameras and things, you know, they will find them, they will find evidence. And when I see proper video of a robot arriving at one of the Apollo landing sites, filming it, filming all the footprints, the tyre tracks, the American flag, that is, to me, that is all the proof I need to prove that they actually did it. They really did do it. Weather's updated itself. Certainly improving, which is great. Right, we're going to start turning now, because what I really want to do is get within range, gliding range, because as you know, helicopters can't glide very far. So I want to be within gliding distance, also rotating distance, so that if I have a problem I can put it down on the ground, not in the water, quite quickly. That's my plan for crossing across. There's an L-shaped island over there. That's a waypoint. We always look for that when we're crossing backwards or forwards from Northern Ireland. Londonderry is down in that direction. We're going to Belfast today, which is down the coast off to the left there. And the weather is improving, which is good news. Means I can get more altitude up. The higher we are, the safer we are, the more time we've got to sort something out. And I'm 33 miles from Aldergrove. Well, I'm not going to Aldergrove, but it's about the same distance to George Best. Never been to George Best in this aircraft before. So it will be a first. Okay, everything's looking good, everything's in the green, nothing on the caution panel. So I'm going to start turning, cutting the corner off. And heading for that jutting out piece of land there. 120 on the clock, 30 miles to go, so that gives me 15 minutes flight time, and the time is 10 minutes to 3. So our ETA will be 3:05. And the needle for the VOR is as described, pointing off to the right of my track, which is what I would have expected it to be, which is excellent. Excellent news. This is Northern Ireland. Don't know if we can still see Scotland, just about see the island back there. Mull of Kintyre. I really want Orbex to do the scenery for Southern Ireland, because I will buy that and I'll fly all around Southern Ireland, but at the moment it's default scenery, which is pretty naff. It really is. Okay, so we'll go due south from here. Some fool revving a motorbike in the street. It's trimmed in. Let's zoom the map in a bit now. I need to move it down a bit. That's where we're going. Yeah, going into clouds, like driving in fog, you can't see anything. It's exactly the same. Okay, so I need to hold the heading of south. Slightly over speeding, so raise the nose. That's it, speed's good. We can do some low flying now once we get over the coast. I'll bring it right down and we'll do some low flying all the way into Georgie Best. So I want just slightly left of south, out there. That'll go. Balls in the middle. Temperatures and pressures looking good. Nothing on the caution panel. Overspeeding again. I'm going to follow this ridge. Just lower the power setting on that. So low level navigation is a combination of following the terrain and checking your compass. There's the sun, it's up there. Sun's in my 2 o'clock position. So as long as we generally keep the sun in the same position, if we can see it, of course. We're not descending now, it's the ground that's coming up. Flying over a hill. Barometric alternator won't change, but the Radalt will. That's the one I'm relying on. Yeah, so the moon landings, I do feel that some robot is going to rock up at the Apollo landing sites in the near future and film everything and go boom, there you go. Everyone that says Buzz was a liar deserved that fist. Did you see that guy? Went waltzing up to Buzz Lightyear, didn't he? And he said, "You're a liar! You're a coward!" Buzz just thumped him right in the mouth. I wouldn't want to get punched out by Buzz. Buzz Aldrin, not Lightyear. I'm sure they named Lightyear after Buzz Aldrin. Oh, the lunar buggy, that's another thing that I had my doubts about. I was watching videos about it, it all folds away, it weighs 400 pounds, what's that, 200 kilos? And it's powered by two 35 volt batteries. What kind of batteries did they have in the 1960s? And how far would two 35 volt batteries get an electric vehicle today? Not very far. I don't think so. 200 kilos, that's a weight of an extra 2 men, isn't it? Weight is critical on aircraft. You can't just load them up and go because they just won't fly. You know, you have to be aware of your maximum takeoff weight and where you're taking off from relative to the atmosphere. How dense is the atmosphere? It's most dense at sea level. The higher you go, the less dense it gets, so you could take off with more weight at sea level, whereas if you're up a mountain you could not take off with the same weight because the air is less dense. And it is an aircraft that flies through the air. Big quarry there. Won't be long now. One thing they've omitted from this flight model is the compass, magnetic compass. They should have one up here on the dash somewhere, or up here, and it doesn't have one. Okay, range ring's 10 miles, that's about 5 minutes. So my ETA of 3:05 is still on target. Estimated time of arrival. Going a bit slower now though, so that's going to add time to my ETA. Slowed it down a bit too much there. So we really need to maintain 120. Let's get my accurate ETA. 60 miles an hour gives you 1 mile in a minute. So 120, make it easy for yourself, 120 just doubles it, doesn't it? 2 miles in a minute. So if you've got 30 miles to run, you just half it, 15 miles, 15 minutes. But if your speed is incorrect, then your calculations will be incorrect. My needle is still pointing off to the right, and when it gets to 90 degrees to the right, I'll be almost there. Not before, as long as I'm holding a southerly heading. Pylons. I've come across the land to cut the corner off, so don't need to follow the coast, do we? And this is the estuary, I think, that comes into Belfast. At the end of the estuary you've got the city. Okay, he's got Belfast on the nose. George Best Airport is on the south side of the cranes. In fact, if I go 180 now, we'll go straight there. Okay, we're coming up to 3:05, so my ETA was a little bit slow because my airspeed was wrong, but there you go. Airspeed's a bit fast again. Need to slow that down, lower the stick a bit, lower the lever. Lower it too much, then it helicopter starts slowing down too much. keep monitoring everything all the time. Right, I've got 120, that's good. We're on south, on the ball. Need to increase the power slightly. There we go. Maintain 120. And we've got the airport right on the nose. You can see the cranes down the dockyard. That's where they made the Titanic. He said it was all right when it left here. There was nothing wrong with it. There is actually a Titanic museum there. Okay, we start slowing the helicopter down. And it is 3:05 on my clock. So I wasn't far out. There's the shipbuilding yard there. Right, where are we going to park? Do we have a helipad? All the greens are good, nothing on the caution panel, gears down and fixed. It's a helicopter landing area, someone's parked there, so that's no good. Let's go park outside the control tower then, sorry. Got permission to cross the active. Should have looked, had a better look at. Ah! Messed that up. Descending too quick. Not checking it in time, then you bounce, and that's not good. It's not good for morale, not at all. Should put helicopters down gently, you shouldn't bounce them. Fuel services, eh? Right, let's put the brakes on. That's it, welcome to Belfast. Thanks for watching.